Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video, comic book edition. These are all the comic books that have been waiting for me in this last month. As you can see, it's a little bit more than my last video, but a lot of stuff came out this last month, so like always I wanted to make a video. Just a quick note, I haven't, on my way home, because it is a long way from the comic book store to my home, I did sort of breeze through the books, but I haven't really reread them yet. So if I mess up some of the plot points, I apologize beforehand. But let's get started. First off, I picked up Action Comics issue 10. Someone hires this famous hunter to track down Superman, but this apparently is before he got his techno suit from Brainiac. By the end of the issue, he sort of like kills Clark Kent, so now he doesn't have a secret identity, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm confused. When is this supposed to take place? Because the Brainiac storyline took place like, during the first days of Superman. So how does this fit into it? I don't know. I like Grant Morrison, but this made no sense. So yeah, this is gonna be my last issue of Action Comics because last issue with the whole sliders thing I thought was really cool. This issue, at least, I'll give it another read, but I didn't like it that much. So yeah, this is gonna be my last issue of Action Comics because I really didn't like this. Then I picked up Amazing Spider-Man issue 686, continuing the Ends of the Earth storyline. Dr. Octopus is really close to getting what he wanted. Spider-Man is still trying to stop him. He fights and defeats the Chameleon and convinces Mysterio to help him out. But Dr. Octopus reveals that he actually has taken control of the Avengers, and everything he's doing is based on inventions that Peter Parker did. So now Spider-Man feels it's his fault that everything's where it is right now. So really good issue. I really like this. I want to see how everything ends. I hope they don't kill off Dr. Octopus, but yeah, it doesn't look too good for him. So let's see what happens in the last issue of this series. Picked up Amazing Spider-Man Annual issue 39, Erased from Existence and Out of Time. Peter Parker was doing this experiment with Brady at Horizon Labs, and somehow he gets blinked out of existence. Nobody knows that Peter Parker or Spider-Man even exist, but he keeps kind of like jumping through time, like he jumps and meets up with Ben Parker. But I thought it was a really good issue. I liked it, even though it is kind of confusing because it handles a lot of weird time travels. For example, if he travels back to the past, he ceases to exist in the future, and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good issue for an annual. Picked up Venom issue 18. The Savage Six go after Betty Brand, and Flash stops them. But by the end of the issue, he reveals to Betty that he's Venom. But the Savage Six are going after Flash's family, and like a dumbass, he's gonna go at it alone because he doesn't ask for help from the Avengers. So yeah, I really liked it. It's still good, even though I think he's an Avenger now. He could ask for some backup. Picked up Astonishing X-Men issue 50. This has a lot of buzz around it because this is the issue where Northstar proposes to his boyfriend. But the story itself is kind of confusing because it starts in the past and then it ends in the present, which was the past in prior issues. I don't know. Dark Avenger also mentioned this, that it was kind of weird, but someone mind controls Wolverine and Gambit, and that person sends him out against Northstar. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up the following issue, see what how everything resolves. Picked up Avengers vs. X-Men 2 of 6, featuring a battle between Gambit and Captain America, and Spider-Man versus Colossus Juggernaut. Spider-Man gets his ass whooped because he's the Colossus Juggernaut, and Captain America takes down Gambit, which actually makes sense. So, this comic book series basically expands on the battles that you don't get to see in the main Avengers versus X-Men. But I still feel that this series is kind of unnecessary. They could have given a few more. I mean, it's a 12-issue series. They could have given more panel time to the battles themselves, but it's still an interesting series. Picked up Avengers vs. X-Men 4. Hope is on the run. She meets up with Wolverine in the Antarctic. She asks for his help. They travel to the moon to try to intercept the Phoenix Force, and Wolverine betrays Hope, letting the Avengers know where they are. The X-Men come in, and the story continues in issue 5. Uh, the X-Men are fighting the Avengers. Iron Man comes in this giant Phoenix busting Iron Man armor. He tries to disrupt the Phoenix Force, but then it kind of like splits and possesses Namor, Magic, Colossus, Emma Frost, and Cyclops. And they say that now they have part of the Phoenix, and that the Avengers messed up because they separated the Phoenix Force that was intended for Hope. So now you have like all these X-Men possessed by the power of the Phoenix racing back to Earth, and the X-Men are, the Avengers are left in a pretty bad state. I thought that was actually pretty interesting. Like I said, the series has been really good, I think, or at least I've been thinking that's been really good. And that's actually a very interesting plot twist. I want to see what they do with it. Hope they don't mess it up. But yeah, really liking Avengers vs. X-Men actually. And I thought I wasn't gonna like it that much. Picked up Batman Annual Issue 1. Revealing a little bit more of Mr. Freeze's origin in the New 52. It's kind of the same where Mr. Freeze is trying to help his wife Nora, but this time Bruce Wayne is the bad guy because he funds Mr. Freeze's project, but then he tries to shut it down when he realizes that Mr. Freeze is kind of shady. But they also reveal that Nora is not Mr. Freeze's wife. He just, kind of like fell in love with this lady that was cryogenically frozen and thought of her as his wife. So they kind of messed up the tragic nature of Mr. Freeze and put in Bruce Wayne as a bad guy. I don't agree with that. But he also has a hand in the whole Night of the Owls thing. So there you go. But yeah, didn't like that one that much. Picked up Batman Incorporated issue 1. This is kind of confusing for me because I don't know how it fits into the New 52. It continues the story that Grant Morrison left behind in the old universe, where Talia al Ghul is the leader of this giant assassin clan that wants to take down Batman and Robin. So I don't know how this exactly fits into it, but it does follow that storyline, and I like it. I really like this. Picked up Fantastic Four 605.1, another one of those point .1 issues that Marvel's releasing. This one is an alternate story. It actually delves into the origin of one of the Council of Reeds. The Reed Richards in this universe worked for Hitler, and they're trying to win the space race, and they go into space and they're transformed by the cosmic rays, but in different ways. For example, Ben Grimm becomes a horrible, horrible rock creature. Johnny Storm is actually of ice. I don't remember what the Invisible Girl is in this universe. And Reed Richards is like this evil scientist that basically helps the Nazis take over the world. And then he gets in contact with the Infinity Gauntlet. And then he destroys his universe before meeting up with the Council of Reeds. But really good issue. But again, this is going to be my last issue, just like with Action Comics. This is going to be my last issue of Fantastic Four, because Hickman ended his whole plot thing with the Celestials and Galactus in such a perfect way that I want to end Fantastic Four on a high note. Unless he brings back that thing with the Parliament of Doom, I'm gonna pick up Fantastic Four. But this is gonna be my last issue of Fantastic Four. Picked up Green Lantern New Guardians issue 9. Um, Again, I don't follow Blue Beetle, so I don't know what his deal is. But the planet of the Blue Lanterns is being invaded by Blue Beetle soldiers. They want to ransack the planet where they are. So Saint Walker is actually able now to generate constructs, and they're going to take the fight to these things. But again, I don't know why the thing that got me hooked in Green Lantern was all the emotional lanterns like love and hope and fear and stuff like that. And they're getting rid of everything. They got rid of the yellow lanterns. Now they got rid of the Indigo tribe. Now it looks like they're getting rid of the Blue Lantern. So I'm not happy with that. Like I said, I really like the concept of the emotional spectrum. But let's see what they continue doing with that. Picked up Superman issue 9. I really like what Jurgens and Giffen are doing. But yeah, this one is the one I didn't read all the way through. It just kind of like flipped through the pages, so can't say much about that. Picked up Smallville season 11 issue 2. Lex Luthor is still having hallucinations about Tessa. Oliver Queen confronts him, and Lex Luthor's plans is to send someone into space, and it's Hank Henshaw. And if anyone that reads the comic books know that Hank Henshaw becomes the cyborg Superman. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. I want to see how the cyborg Superman works in this Smallville comic. A little better than the first issue, even though I don't like the artwork because they don't look anything like the characters from the TV show. But story-wise, it's a little better than the first issue. Picked up Justice League number 9. Again, it's one of those books I didn't read all the way through, but I did read the Shazam backup because I'm actually more interested in the Shazam backup than the main Justice League. The only thing I remember from this while I was flipping through it is that someone captures. They introduce the key, and someone captures Trevor because they want information from the Justice League. But in the backup, Dr. Savannah actually travels to one of the magical sites linked to Shazam, and then he gets hit by a blast of energy, and then he can now see magic, and he has this big old scar on his face. Yeah, I'm really liking the Shazam things better. Picked up these probably gonna be very controversial Earth 2 issue 2, where they're introducing the Justice Society. And I thought the concept of this was interesting because they flip the universe. Originally, the Justice Society came before the Justice League, and in this one, the Justice League came first. They died, and then the Justice Society comes in. So I thought that was interesting. Mercury, the God Mercury, gives his speed powers to the new Flash. And the thing that makes this issue controversial is that Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, is revealed to be gay in this universe, which I know has a lot of people upset because Alan Scott is like a really, really important character in DC. I'm not opposed to them trying to introduce more diverse characters, but I do feel it's just DC's way to try to compete with Marvel with the North Star situation in Astonishing X-Men. And they could have introduced a new character and have him be gay. I don't see the need to mess up one of their classic old characters. But let's see what they do with it, because they also introduced Hawkgirl into this, so we'll see. Picked up Huntress and Power Girl World's Finest issue 2. Huntress and Power Girl are still trying to defeat this guy that looks like a paratrooper. So issue. I'm gonna pick up issue 3, see if I continue buying this one, but we'll see. Picked up Simpsons Comics issue 190. Really cool issue because it has Sideshow Bob, and I love Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob hacks Bart's Facebook account, even though it's not called a Facebook in The Simpsons, and he posts a whole bunch of things that are basically his plot to destroy Bart Simpson is through the social network. So I really like this one. Picked up Swamp Thing issue 10, featuring the return of Anton Arcade. This is an issue. The cover, if it looks familiar, it's because it's a redo of an old Swamp Thing issue. But yeah, it's basically just Swamp Thing takes a rest, and then Abigail goes around the mansion, and in the end of the issue, Anton returns. So yeah, gotta pick up the other ones because I'm really digging Swamp Thing. Picked up X-Men Legacy 267. The Jean Grey School is after this team of Avengers, and Rogue once again single-handedly destroys the Avengers. So she decides that she's going to join the fight and fight against the Avengers. So good issue. Picked up Age of Apocalypse issue 4. The Exterminated track down the Thing, which is the Age of Apocalypse's Hulk. How he goes and takes the fight to Weapon Omega. But they don't actually really fight. It's kind of like left for the next issue. But I wish they bring back more characters from the from the Marvel universe in the Age of Apocalypse, like the Hulk, to try to balance things out with the mutants in the Age of Apocalypse. But again, really good issue. I really like the Age of Apocalypse. Picked up Uncanny X-Men issue 12, featuring on the cover Namor versus the Thing. Just another crossover with a lot of battles, which continues in Uncanny X-Men issue 13, which also ties into everything that's going on in the moon. Storm, Magneto, Psylocke, and Dr. Nemesis are talking about what's going on, trying to get their bearings before all the X-Men get possessed. Then picked up Before Watchmen, Minutemen. I thought Watchmen was going to be Before Watchmen was just going to be a one-shot thing, like they're going to do a one-shot for Minutemen and one-shot for Silk Spectre, Dr. Manhattan, and so on. But they're actually going to be miniseries. Minutemen is going to be a 6-issue miniseries. Silk Spectre is going to be 4. Rorschach is going to be 4. Ozymandias is going to be 6. The Comedian is going to be 6. And Night Owl is going to be 4. So if you want to get into this, it's going to cost you a lot of money because all the books are $3.99. That kind of sucks. I mean, if you want more people to get interested in your book, put it cheaper. But this issue was actually really, really cool. So I'm going to get the rest of the Before Watchmen minis. Because they have a lot of people. Darwin Cook is going to write some. Brian Azzarello is going to write some, and J. Michael Straczynski is going to write another couple of issues. So, yeah, I'm going to pick up the whole Before Watchmen books because if all of the writers involved, I always like their work. But if this is an indication of the rest of the books, it's going to be an awesome thing. Except, again, the only thing I don't like is there are going to be so many books, and they all cost $3.99. I'm really upset about that, but the book itself is really, really cool. So, yeah. Picked up Marvel Zombies Destroy 205. This is another one of those issues. I just really flipped through them. Dum Dum Dugan and Howard the Duck are trying to escape these Nazi zombies, and they're joined by these female freedom fighters, and that's as far as I got with this one. Picked up Witchblade 156. Sarah's trying to investigate a haunting, but it's revealed that it's just people that are being displaced, like in an alternate dimension, before they're actually killed, and then they actually turn to ghost. This was a weird issue, but I still liked it. Picked up Artifacts issue 18. The Angelus possesses Finch, which was Danny's girlfriend in the other universe. So the Angelus takes the fight to the Darkness, and the Darkness is mad because they brought back, Tom Judge brought back the Angelus, and it's going to cause trouble for him. So things are starting to unravel for Jackie, but again, the artwork is really cool, the covers are really awesome, and the writing is really cool. So I'm still going to pick up Artifacts. Picked up Red Sonja and Witchblade issue 3. Witchblade still can't figure out how to stop that fallen angel. They shoot Gleason. They abduct Hope, so she's in a bad place. She's trying to figure out a way to remember what happened, so she talks with the Witchblade and therefore accesses the memories of an old Witchblade bearer. By the end of the issue, Red Sonja in her timeline gets the Witch Blade. So I don't know how many issues this is gonna go for, but I gotta pick up issue 4 now. Picked up Wolverine 307. The last cover I liked. This cover I didn't like. I don't like the story. Dr. Rudd brainwashes Wolverine, so now he's totally under his control. I call BS because there's no way Wolverine could be that easily brainwashed. Don't like this. Hope finishes quickly because I didn't like this storyline. Picked up Wolverine and the X-Men issue 11, continuing the fights in Avengers vs. X-Men. This time with the Red Hulk fighting Iceman, and it was a really good issue. Last issue, Wonder Woman number 9. Hades is preparing Wonder Woman because he's gonna marry her and she's gonna take a new wife. In the underworld, Wonder Woman meets with Persephone, which was Hades' prior wife, and Team Wonder Woman is going to mount a rescue to try to save Wonder Woman from whatever fate Hades has. Again, really liking what they're doing with Wonder Woman. Good issue overall. So yeah, that was the collection pick of videos. Well, collection pick of video. A whole bunch of really, really good books. Like always, I like to recommend the standout books, and I'm going to go with Minutemen. I really, really like this, and again, made me look forward to the whole bunch of Watchmen books that are going to come out, and there's going to be a whole bunch. And I'm going to go with Simpson Comics 190 because, again, it stars Sideshow Bob. And Sideshow Bob is awesome. So, this is actually going to be a two-parter because the comic book store I go to had a back issue sale. So, I picked up some back issues that I want to share. So, stay tuned for part 2. Later, guys.